When we pull something, things get a little bit tight. And when you use a throwing motion, things get released. So I much prefer to think about the forehand as a throw than a pull. Many of you will have seen my videos where I discuss the forehand being a throwing motion as opposed to something like a pull-in motion. Now there's a lot of coaches out there who think the best way of getting that racket speed, getting into the slot, is by pulling into that position. And I've always said that the best way of doing that is to think about it as a throw. Now for 99% of tennis players out there, if you are pulling, your coordination will break down. And it's pretty simple why that would be. If you think about pulling something, let's say, forget about a forehand for a minute, you're pulling a rope, you're going to engage your muscles a lot. You're going to be pretty tight. Now if you do that while you're hitting a forehand, the issue is you're going to hold on to that body part. Whatever's tight, you're going to be so tight and you're going to hold on to it for so long that the energy won't pass through your body and activate the next link in the chain. Now today I'm going to delve a little bit deeper into this subject. A guy signed up for my video analysis program, sent me a video, and again I thought he was pulling basically into the contact point. Now my advice for him, again, delves a little bit deeper into this subject, and I think it's really going to help a lot of you out there to improve your forehands. Also, you might want to stick around for the second part of the video where I'm talking about the proper spacing relative to the height you're striking the ball from. Because if you're taking the ball up high, you need that contact point further out in front. I'll go into a little bit more detail on that, but let me know what you think. Leave me a comment, hit like, and sort me out with some more subscribers. Enjoy the video. I like what you're doing. I think the take back, the swing path, everything looks pretty good. You get a little bit jammed as you're striking the ball. And if you'd watched my YouTube video this week, it was on the forehand being a throwing motion. Now the reason I did that is because I'd made a video previously on the forehand being more of a throw than a pull. Some coaches think that when you pull, that's what creates that lag. And it may do for some of the great tennis players. Maybe they feel like as they come in here, they pull and then they can release. But for a lot of players, pulling gets you a little bit tight. Things are locked, arms get locked out. There's a lot of errors that come from pulling. And I think you're pulling. As you get into this take back and you start to swing at the ball, what you tend to do to generate that power, because it is a powerful move, pulling is a powerful move, you pull into the contact point a little bit. And just like in the video I made, I'm encouraging people to throw because it allows you to release into the shot, to get the energy coming from close to your body, away from your body, and into the strike. Now, we don't have to necessarily think about it as a throw, and that was part of my message in that YouTube video was we don't have to think about throwing fastballs like a Kyrgios style forehand. We just have to feel like the energy is getting released into the shot instead of being, the alternative would be to, pull. There's other things you could do like push, which also wouldn't be, the best way of hitting a forehand. And some forehands will require being a push and a block and stuff like that. But if you have time, we want to feel like as we come into the shot that the energy is moving away from our body and we release into it. We throw the racket into the strike just a little bit. It doesn't have to be, as I say, it doesn't have to be supination, pronation, just the energy moving away from your body as opposed to coming into your body, which again is why a lot of your contact points look a little bit jammed in here. Another way of thinking about it is to swing the racket. So as you get into this position, feel like you swing the racket away from your body instead of bringing it into your body. The ideal shoulder position would probably be a little bit squarer than where you are to get that ball in front. But because you're pulling, quite often your right shoulder's behind your left and you're a little bit jammed. So as you swing away from your body, rotate your body, and you'll probably find that you feel a little bit more comfortable and you hit a better shot from out in front if your shoulders are a little bit more square. You might find that your right shoulder's a little bit behind the left, kind of like in this position. But I think turning into that shot is going to allow you to throw and get that contact point a little bit further out in front. Whereas when you pull, you tend to stay a little bit sideways and get jammed. I'm going to throw that out there, give it a go, practice it. And just send me a video. You don't have to have mastered this. Just give it a go, send me a video, and we'll see kind of how you've interpreted that information and advice, and we'll go from there. Talk to you soon. All right, mate, I'm going to add one more thing to my analysis. And I want you to take a look at your second shot, not that one, but this shot right here I think is your best shot of the video. Very smooth swing. If you compare that to this one, that's a lot tighter, a lot more jammed. So is this one. And most of them look like that. But you can learn from this swing here. Let's just slow it down. You can see how you swing away from your body. It's a swinging action. It's not a pulling action. It's a lot smoother and just better spacing. So that's great because you can learn from that. You can use that as your blueprint and try and get more shots like that. Now what may be contributing to a better technique is the fact that the ball is a little bit lower. What happens when the ball is lower is your arm naturally straightens a little bit more. And you can keep the spacing to your body relatively close. Like the distance between the ball and your leg is, it's not a huge distance, it's quite close. Now when the ball gets higher, that distance between your body and the ball needs to be a lot further. You might find it needs to be 3 times further away to allow you to have this same bend in the arm, just a slight bend. The higher it goes, if you keep that distance from the ball to your body the same, your arm gets too bent and you feel jammed. So the higher the contact point, the further away from your body you have to be. Now, that could be my analysis, right? All I could have said is, hey, get the ball further away from you. And I think certainly that's part of my analysis. But just understand that if you're pulling, you're going to tend to get that ball closer. Whereas when you're swinging, you're going to get that ball naturally a little bit further away. So try and combine these two different swing thoughts. 1, swinging into the contact, and 2, getting that ball a little bit further away, especially on those high balls. And use that first shot there as your blueprint and try and recreate a few more shots like that. All right, mate, talk to you soon.